world's spinning faster and faster every day. We barely have time to read or hear the news. Think about it and listen to the written words. On my journey to find more cultural meaning on the streets of Dublin, I met with André Kapoor, a great poet-composer of our society.
I remember the first time I saw anybody performing poetry in front of people, and my mom used to work in a publishing house, and she took me to like a launch of some woman's poetry book. I can't remember her name. I was only about 7 years old, but I remember this one poem she read, and it always stayed with me. It had this one line. This was in Croatian, of course, but it said like it was something she had to justify an answer, and she had this moment where she stopped and she told everybody that that was a good answer. Like a teacher, she was like, "Is that clear?" And everybody just kind of shut up and kind of nodded. And I don't know, it just kind of caught me how somebody like could like shut a room up like that with just like a couple of words.
Why did you choose this type of art to express yourself?
I don't think I did. It kind of just, I don't know, I don't think I had much choice. I mean, I don't really sit down and go, okay, right. It's more like words just like show up in my head, and if I don't put them down, or if I don't do something with them and build other words around them, I feel like I'm wasting them. So, but for those of you that haven't been before, welcome, and I'll get off the stage really soon, I promise. We've got a great lineup for you tonight. Dogs in heat, rabid, foaming, and a beast caged in the heart of the city. Body of his mother rotting in the summer ground, he fled the town. He ran down south and crossed the border, left the chaos and disorder back there over his shoulder.
I like poetry because it's a form of self-expression, and it's a very accessible form of self-expression in that anyone can write it and anyone can perform it.
You can write stuff that you have emotions about. Sometimes it's very hard to tell somebody how you feel about something, especially if it's a relationship or if you're having social problems or whatever. That sometimes it's great to be able to write it down.
As long as we do our best, I know we'll make it. We'll make it. As long as we try and try, keep on reaching high, we'll make it. Yeah, we'll make it. It hasn't been our year, but I'm not worried now. We'll have another chance. We'll have another chance. After the summer holidays, tell us we'll have another chance. And that's that one.
How did you come up with the idea to come up with the Lock Spoken Words show?
It was part of my grad project for college. I did a graphic design degree, and my final piece I wanted to kind of bring poetry, or kind of the word, back to the people, kind of in a more accessible way, because I thought that publishing had kind of run its course, at least for the time being, because people don't have money to buy books, and people don't really read poetry, and most of the time when people are exposed to anything, it's going back to the idea of an oral narrative. And I mean, you know, the Irish have always had a very rich tradition of that, so this is as good a place as any to get something like that going. I read a lot of Frenchies. Baudelaire and Rimbaud kind of caught me early on. I read a lot of Eliot because I love the way, like, aside from the pure use of words, when you read a bit deeper into them, the amount of cross-referencing just gets ridiculous. And then I think a whole bunch of the usual kind. In school I like Dylan Thomas and John Donne and those guys.
Is it a natural progression to mix poetry with hip hop?
Yeah, they're interconnected. I mean, never mind, I don't know, Lil Wayne and the stuff that gets all the airplay nowadays. Yeah. But in the, I mean, yeah, the obvious correlation would be like in the early days when MCs were just like basically, before you had the idea of doing production and before you even had beats, you had people standing around just rapping at each other in the very early days, and they were poets. I'm sure they would have been aware of it to an extent, and
the likes of Gil Scott Heron and
exactly, yeah, exactly. So that, like, I mean, it would have developed into all sorts of directions, just like poetry did itself. But I think definitely there's still a connection. I think they're still part of the same picture, in essence.
While somebody does not have to have read Shakespeare's works or composed a 4-line piece rhyme, the fact that we can appreciate the written word is a common step to expressing the feeling in all of our lives.